Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by ACD&B, who are a branding and creative design agency based in Farsley, Leeds. They create standout brands. If any companies out there need a brand new logo or a brand refresh, just get in touch with ACD&B. Thanks as always to them for sponsoring us, not just with the podcast, not just with the fanzine, but now with the... For those watching on YouTube, we've got little bits of merch. This is all thanks to ACD&B. I'm wearing a hoodie and a snapback. All thanks to ACD&B. And this hoodie, let me tell you, is absolutely class. This is our Xmas Christmas Party podcast, a festive feast. So grab a drink, grab a mince pie and join us. Feel free to comment along in the YouTube chat. We do stream all of our podcasts live on our YouTube channel. So if you head over to YouTube and search for the Lot Pod, that's the logo. That's us. Hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time we stream our podcasts live. Joining me, as always, my right-hand man, my co-host, but our amazing stats man, Statman Reese.
I'm a stat.
Freeze.
How the devil are you?
I'm good. I'm not sure I'm feeling that Christmassy yet, but I'm good.
I feel like we don't speak anymore.
I know I've felt a bit lonely actually in the last sort of month, just from rugby league basis. And just we haven't spoken. I'm glad I remembered how to do the music because we haven't done this in about.
That's the first tick. We've got a got a busy podcast coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to have a catch up between ourselves before.
We probably need to actually. Yeah, I haven't got my hat yet either on my hoodie, so I'm feeling a bit left out as well. But mine's coming soon.
We are going to announce the winner of this amazing signed shirt, and again, it's ACD&B again. They're propping up the podcast. This was very kindly donated by Chris. It's a signed shirt. I have all the names in a bucket here, and we're going to announce that later in the show as well. That'll be live to.
Can I make a point? When I do a prize giveaway, I've got a fancy wheel that we share on a screen, whereas you've got old school. If you literally written every single name out
and put it all into a bucket, because I'm from 1982. The winner of the signed shirt as well will also win a Lot Pod snapback. So that's coming up later in the podcast. Do you feel like you're ready for Christmas? You just said you didn't feel particularly Christmassy. Why is that?
No, I think we're on a wedding honeymoon come down, to be honest.
Reece, you got married in...
I know, but we're still on it. We're still on it. The honeymoon was free, was October, November. We only got back from honeymoon in the beginning of November. I think we're on a bit of a come down. I don't know. Work's been busy. That probably didn't help.
You are wearing the new... Because we haven't spoke about this on the pod.
No, we haven't.
On the pod for ages.
No.
We are wearing the new 2024 Heritage shirt, which should have just been the home shirt. I think you agree?
Do you want to guess how long it took me to buy this shirt?
14 seconds.
It was about 30 seconds, from the moment the link came out, I think. Oh, I saw the link. Yeah, it's a great shirt. I'm happy with the white shirt. This probably should have been the home, the white, the away, and then the one, the alternate. I reckon that's probably how they're going to do it anyway.
Well, the way they're doing it this year, sorry, Reece, is if they've got the principal and they've got this shirt, and they said they're going to wear them
I kind of like that.
I was going to say, do you think that's a good idea, or would you prefer the traditional home away?
Put it this way, if we're going to do something different this pre-season, I'd rather us do something different with the kits than having Gannon at halfback. So if this is something new and something different we're doing this year, then I'm all for it. I actually quite like the idea and the concept of it, so it's good.
I can't. Part of me agrees, but then the other part of me thinks this just gives Oxen license to just make as many kits as they want.
Yeah, and you know what? Me and Laurie will be those person that probably buy all four at some point. Because last year I didn't buy one shirt.
You did.
I think this year I could be buying 2, if not 3. I think.
Yeah, we've got the Rob shirt to come as well.
Yeah.
So,
what
did you give the principal shirt out of 10? Remind me.
I want to say 7.
And what did you give the alternative?
8.
And what are you giving the Heritage?
This is a 9.
Are you ever going to give a shirt a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I would do, and it'd be the 2021 home shirt. I don't think anything will ever beat that as a home kit, to be honest.
What Oxon? 22.
21, 22, 22. Sorry,
22. Oxon
22.
will never beat that. So
No, 22 home shirt. Yeah.
Diane. So you're not feeling festive, even though we're on our Christmas party?
Yeah. Sorry.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
So it's probably a good idea that we move on, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. What's that?
It's all the high tech here. It's our next guest, or our guest to join us. It's Cameron.
What? I thought it was
Cameron.
Cameron, one of our regulars. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, probably should have said that at the start of the show. Merry Christmas, everyone. Cameron, we were briefly talking about this shirt Reese is wearing, 2004 Heritage shirt. What have you made of this shirt?
It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's brilliant to see such an iconic kit. And I know some people don't actually like the 2004 kit's design. It's rather that what it embodies is more important. But to see it sort of translated perfectly into a modern shirt is pretty damn cool. It's a great design, and I can't wait to see us wearing it. And I hope you're both right in terms of I'd like to see us just rotate the kits in an unconventional way, because I like all three kits, and the more we get to see them, the better, I think.
Do you agree with that, Reese? What Cam says there about like some people, do you have to like the kit for it to be iconic? For instance, if that was, I don't know, bright orange with purple spots, but it was the 2004 grand final winning shirt, would it still have? Does it matter what the shirt looks like?
I think this kit could be anything.
Yeah,
it's exactly as Cameron says. It's more.
I agree.
More what it Bobby's. Sorry, someone just put a message on that's called Bobby. It's more about what it embodies than it actually the star, because it isn't actually that nice of a shirt compared to the ones we've had around, especially around this era.
You see, sorry to put in, but I love this shirt now. But I think it is because of what we achieved.
What it represents.
Rather than how it looks.
Yeah, no, exactly. And as always, it always looks better on a rugby league athlete than it does a fat, overweight 29-year-old.
So, Cameron, you are a Leeds fan. You know that because you're one of our regulars, and you will be back next year. We had a brief bit of news from Harry Newman. Was it yesterday? Was it today? Was it Monday? Does it matter? About he was kind of speaking about his contract prior to the season starting and how he'd like it kind of addressed and in place. Do you think this is more of a threat to the Rhinos, a threat to other clubs, NRL clubs? How did you kind of read Harry's comments, Cam?
Personally, I think it puts us in pole position because obviously, unlike in the NRL, where you can see that as soon as that November 1st hits in the NRL, if you're out of contract the next year, you can agree to sign for 2025. So that's why you're getting Jerome Luai agreeing to join West Tigers for 2025. Over here, it's not that simple. The club have to tell you what their plans are before you can go and talk to other clubs. So the fact that he's looking to do it quickly, I mean, I suppose that puts pressure on the club to make a decision. But I think the ball's in Leeds' court right now. And as long as that's the case, I would back us to get it over the line. Personally, I think we'll retain him.
I agree with that. And I think as well, Cam, the fact that Harry has come out and said he wants his contract sorting before the season starts, then this new contract that he's chasing is based on last year's form. Well, last year, he was injured. Obviously, he did play for England and play well. But in terms of the NRL and other side, they're kind of looking at it as on that seat. It's quite unique, I guess, in him saying, I want this addressing before a ball's kicked.
I mean, it shows his level of confidence. I suppose he thinks he knows what he's worth and he expects to be paid that wherever he ends up. But I think you're right insofar as saying that an NRL club is probably less likely right now at this moment in time to make the level of offer that he would expect, because he has a certain level of proving to do. Even to Leeds fans, I mean, last year was probably his worst in a Leeds shirt. Not maybe necessarily in terms of performances, but there was certain incidents that were well documented that prompted a lot of derision of his character and his commitment to the side. So he's got a lot of proving to do to Leeds fans in general, but the fact that he wants his contract done sooner rather than later, I definitely think puts us in control, because he's more likely to get the offer of his value from us than he is from an NRL club.
Do you think he's a marquee, Cam?
Oh, definitely. I think he's definitely a marquee, especially with the new rules in place, with the extra marquee about homegrown players and how they count on your cap. I think, we actually do have a lot of really good homegrown players, so it is quite difficult, but I would
Newman is one of probably one of 3 or 4 players that you could potentially put in that category. And I know a question we're going to talk about was Jack Welsby, but I think Jack Welsby is probably the best example of that marquee spot in the new system, because it's only going to cost St. Helens 50 grand, I think, on the salary cap for whatever they paid Jack Welsby if he's on that marquee player in that homegrown quota. 50 grand on the league salary cap for Harry Newman is probably a fifth of what they could end up paying him per year.
Exactly. And so this is just another tool for Leeds to utilise in keeping him. So, like I said, like I keep saying, the ball's in our court, really. If there is that, I expect marquee money to be thrown at him personally. I
just think Leeds they just shouldn't mess around with this.
No.
They shouldn't be doing what we've done with, like for Sam Walters. I keep saying this season or last season, but it's still in 2023. But we shouldn't be messing about. Leeds need to go out and say, look, this is our best offer. This is what we think you're worth. And maybe if he doesn't agree to it, they'll have another stopgap in, I don't know, before the window opens in May, so another clubs can have a look at him. But they just need to put the best offer on the table, because 50 grand in a salary cap for a player like Harry Newman, it almost makes too much sense.
Do you think? Obviously, I mentioned it again. He wants it sorting before the season starts. There'll obviously be an offer from the Rhinos, from us, from Leeds. Cam, do you think there'll be any kind of NRL offer for him?
Potentially. I mean, you read about in the Daily Telegraph down under that he's on the radar of NRL clubs. They'll probably see his potential, but I mean, obviously they've got more money to play with over there. But they're probably less inclined to spend a lot of money on a player who could arrive injured and could frequently get injured. I think they're more likely to hold off and hope that there isn't a decision made before the start of the season, and then sort of see where we get to where he gets to May time. If he's not picked up any injuries and he's playing well, I think that's when the NRL interest, if he's not signed a new deal by then, will really go into overdrive.
It could be seen as an NRL team taking a chance on him at this moment in time. Whereas if he has a full season or at the halfway point he's proven his worth, then it is more of a... Because he'll want a number 3 or 4 shirt if he goes down to the NRL.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry Newman is not a player that's going to sit on the bench or not, playing in and out. He wants to be playing every week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure... Unless he signs a new deal for Leeds by then, which I think is very much in the cards. And if Leeds follow what St. Helens have been doing with Welsby.
Exactly. Well, that's all the boring stuff out of the way, Cameron. On to some Christmas stuff. This is our Christmas party, festive special. What is your favourite Christmas film, Cameron?
I might split opinion because some people claim it's not a Christmas film, but Die Hard. I'm going to say
Die Hard is a Christmas film.
It is a Christmas film.
It is a Christmas film. I'm glad we've got believers in the house.
Reese, what's yours?
It's The Holiday, because I just think The Holiday is a really good movie. I love it. I think it's a really classic movie. It's Jack Black.
I'm a big Jack Black fan, but that is a stinker, Reese.
It's not a stinker. It's just a wholesome movie.
All the Christmas films. It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, Home Alone.
You know what? I don't like Home Alone, and I think it's because I watched it.
You've never seen it, but that's
I've seen it, but I only saw it for the first time last year.
Wow.
And that's probably why I don't like it, because I never saw it as a kid.
That makes sense.
What's your favourite Christmas song, Cam?
Probably Last Christmas.
Agreed. Wham. Bit of Wham. Do you agree with that, Reese? Have you got a favourite Christmas song?
Got 3.
Go for it.
Step into Christmas, Elton. Step into Christmas, Elton John.
Not bad.
That's a good one.
Christmas Lights, Coldplay. And Let the Bells Ring, The Darkness.
Yes. Don't Let the Bells End. Yes.
Yeah, The Bells End. That's it. Don't Let the Bells End. Yeah.
I don't mind that one. I do like Justin Hawkins. Cameron, do you enjoy Christmas, or are you a bit of a Scrooge, a bit of a Grinch? I get the feeling Cam enjoys Christmas. What do you think, Reese?
I think he's a Scrooge.
All right. Well, it's time to reveal the answer, I suppose, isn't it? We've got two opposing camps here.
Don't demean us. Tell us.
I know. I'm building suspense. Normally,
I am here.
Normally, I really love Christmas, but I feel a bit like Reese. I don't feel very Christmassy yet, so I'm being a bit of a Scrooge this year.
I've got 2 Scrooges tonight.
I do apologise.
Why don't you feel? Reese is still in honeymoon mindset. He got married in February, but he's still in honeymoon mindset.
September. I just want to be back in America eating shit and watching American football.
You sit on your ass at home now.
I have been doing. Can you not tell?
Why don't you feel so festive, Cam?
I don't really know, to be honest. It might be because my miss isn't very well, so I'm having to look after her. But maybe it's my fault. I've not really put the effort in to be Christmassy. Like, I've not been listening to Christmas music, and I got myself a really naff advent calendar, so it might be my fault.
Sounds like you've only got yourself to blame, mate.
Yeah, maybe. Too busy looking forward to Boxing Day.
Yes, Leeds Wakey.
Are you going on Boxing Day, Cameron? That's probably a question you should be asking, Eddie.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Cameron, you will be joining us for 2024, am I right?
I will indeed.
Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy it, please. Please try.
I will try. From tomorrow, I'll pick it up just for you.
Yeah, lots of festive cheer. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2024, mate. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we'll certainly will. Thank you for having me. Merry Christmas, both of you.
Take care. Yeah, see you soon. Doorbell again. We're just
I know.
The doorbell again. Who's that? Oh my God!
A new face to the Lot Pod.
Hi guys,
It's
you all
Bobby.
right?
Bobby from the Loose Forward Pod. How are you, Bobby?
I'm not bad, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that lot. First of all, I've said it a million times. Myself and Reese, we are massive, massive fans of the Loose Forward podcast. I would implore everyone to go and check it out on iTunes and Spotify, however you listen to your podcast. It's absolutely fantastic. Callum, Andy, and Bobby do a fantastic job. Right, Bobby, when are you going to pay me that $5? PayPal's fine if you want to send it over.
I'd like to start this one up, actually, Eddie, really quickly, because we talked about kits. I'm not normally a fan of a St. Helens kit, but I have to say the one that Bobby's got on, it is probably the only one I think I would allow.
Yeah, I was very similar to yourself, Reese. The second I saw it go on sale, I was all over it. I just love that. It should have been our home kit for last season. It should have been. Ditch the red V, one season, no one would have minded. 150-year celebration would have been perfect, but at least I got it.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Cameron with a bit of a Scrooge. Reese is not feeling as festive just yet because he's still on his honeymoon in his mind. Are you feeling festive, Bobby?
Do you know what? Surprisingly, for the first time, I am.
Thank God for that, finally.
First Christmas in my new house, so it's a lot to take in. It's it's the first thing you buy and stuff like that. Whereas usually I'm a bit more of a little, it's Christmas, whatever. So.
What's your favourite Christmas film, Bob?
Well, I can tell you it is 100% not Die Hard because it is not a Christmas film. Sorry.
Oh my God! Here we go. The spanner in the works. Boot him, Reese.
It would be you, a St. Helens fan, wouldn't it? Of course it would be.
I'm sorry, he's just not. But no, mine is Jingle All the Way.
Nice.
I just love the iconic put that cookie down. It's it's brilliant. I love it. You can't help but just join in with that bit.
Schwarzenegger. Favorite Christmas song, Bobby?
Oh, it's got to be the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York.
Especially this, with Shane passing away, definitely.
I know. Do you know what? It sounds so basic. Oh, it's everyone's favorite, but it is just the best. I can't.
It is a classic, especially at this time of year because everyone's drunk and it's such a drunk song. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, "It's about me. This song's about me and my emotions right now." Bobby, we had some news this week about Phil Clark leaving Sky. First of all, did you agree with that? Did you think it was time Phil Clark left Sky? Did you think he should have stuck around? How did you see it, Bobby?
No, I thought it was time to move on. I think, to be fair, a few of the Sky Sports pundits need to do the same as well, in my opinion. Yeah, Phil Clark. It's always hard, isn't it, when you've been doing the job for so long? You become part of, you're expected to tune into Sky Sports and see Phil Clark every week. That's part and parcel of watching rugby league, or any sport really, But no, yeah, I think it was definitely time for him to move on.
Yeah, agreed. So in terms of Phil Clark moving on, have you got any names or any kind of feeling of who you think should kind of step into that role at Sky?
I think you've already probably seen one with Channel 4 this season. I think Sam Tompkins wouldn't be a bad suggestion. Comes across very well, very, very part of this modern game now, isn't it? So yeah, I think Sam Tompkins has come across really well over what I've seen on Channel 4 this season, and yeah, I think he's probably the first name on the list.
Who would you say, Reese? Have you got a name of any?
Sam Tompkins. Sam Tompkins was the first name that came to my head. To be honest, I thought he comes across quite neutral, even though he still played for Catalan last year. He still came across fairly neutral when he was there. So I think what Bobby hit the nail on the head. He understands the modern game a lot more, and he's closer to it. And I think he's got the character to be able to do it. So I think Sam Tompkins was the first name that came to my head.
I think he's got the profile as well too, Bobby. Would you agree with that? I think he's, when he were playing and he kind of does a lot of media. I think he's former England captain. He's really recognisable as well to have that kind of role.
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably most people in the like I said, in this modern game, even if you've only been watching rugby league a couple of seasons now, if you're fairly new to the sport, I think most people would say they know who Sam Tompkins is. So yeah, he's definitely got that aura about him, hasn't
he? We had some news as well about the broadcast deal. I know you kind of touched on it on the Loose Forward podcast, but how did you feel about every game being shown live on telly, Bobby? Do you think that's a good idea? My kind of worry, if you like, is the threat of free to air stuff. Like, does this kind of give Sky stranglehold on the game more pressure, or do you think it's a good thing? How do you see it, Bobby?
I think it's definitely a good thing moving forward. I mean, you see a lot with the Watch NRL. A lot of people rave about that kind of platform, being able to watch every game, go back and watch a game if you've missed it, and stuff like that. So I think it's a big step in the right direction.
I agree.
I had two concerns when I first heard it. The first one was we've seen record-breaking attendances at games this year, especially with the likes of Hull KR and stuff like that. They've really sold out a lot of games. And my first,
we don't know Hull KR attendances. They don't tell us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they only announce it when it's a big when they've actually sold out, don't they?
And when they're not scrapping in the away stand as well.
Yeah, that's maybe a bad example from OKR. But yeah, I think I just hope that people don't just buy a yearly or a monthly pass and think, oh, I don't need to go to the game because I can just sit at home and watch it. I hope the attendances continue to grow from it. And the other thing is as well is the finance side of things that was a big worry for me. It was obviously a fantastic step in the right direction. But when you hear that you're getting paid less for it as well, like you say, Sky Sports stranglehold, it does become a little bit tighter as well, doesn't it? It shows that somehow they can afford to pay the sport less and still keep hold of us. It doesn't really,
Show more games, yeah.
yeah. So I
think
question where's this been for the last few seasons. If you're willing to pay us less, where's this come
This
from?
could have been implemented sooner. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
are you going to say, Reece? Sorry.
I think it's a step in the right direction because I swear I read an article the other day that free to air is still going to continue next season, but they just don't know where at the moment by the sound of things. So it could happen, might not. Having a platform where you can watch all the games as a streaming platform, it does open it up to new people. I mean, selfishly as well, I love the fact because I can watch all the games from most of the rounds. I can rewatch Rhino's games so I can actually know what I'm talking about when I come in here on a Sunday night.
Makes a change.
It makes a change, yeah.
For both
So
of us, not just Reece.
for both of us. But I think it's a really good move. But like you say, my worry is that it could further Sky's stranglehold on the game, which it has had. And you know, Sky have done been a big factor in televising the game. But they've got an opportunity with Phil Clark leaving, I think, to change things up a bit now and be different. And they've got to grasp that opportunity, I think, to help it move forward. But it will be interesting to see what happens and how it's covered going forward.
Have they mentioned anything about a video ref at every game now? Have I missed that? Has that been
that should be happening, shouldn't it? I'm looking at Bob.
You would assume that
Yes,
that
I
would be.
believe so. But the biggest part about that is that they've denied captain's challenge, haven't they? Which I personally disagree with. I think that is a big one.
Yeah.
But is it not just typical of rugby league though as well that we're 8 weeks out from the season and we have no idea if we're going to get any free-to-air games on? That's just that's just rugby league, isn't it?
And that's quite a scary thought, though, isn't it? 6 to 8 weeks away. Yet, have you ever seen any promotion on Sky Sports about it?
Not much.
And I mean, I just think that part worries me because they should be hammering it all over because potentially this season again is a really exciting prospect. Wigan look stronger than ever. We look stronger than we've been for a long time. Saints are just Saints. Let's just ignore them because they're always up there. Hull KR on the rise.
Reece is always so polite to our guests.
Yeah, Warrington have got Sam Burgess because the Sam Burgess story is a massive one for Warrington.
That is
in
massive
Super
for the
League.
league. That I
So
agree.
you just get it, market the hell out of it, and that's kind of why I think we all get a bit upset with Sky because they just don't seem to really want to push it forward.
That's where my concerns come in about the stranglehold and kind of showing every game. Like Bobby said, hit the nail on the head about they seem to do this so easily. By that I mean just say, right, we're showing every game. Well, why didn't you do this 2, 3, 4 years ago? During COVID, they could have done it then. They could have, we can do this. Now that seemed to be the prime time. You are a Saints fan, Bobby. We had some news this week about Jack Welsby. We've kind of briefly touched on it earlier in the pod. 2-year deal with Saints. Personally, I think this is really good for Super League to keep hold of such a young star. But then the other side of that coin is I do, as I've said loads on this pod, I really do enjoy watching young English, British talent head over to the NRL to kind of show what they've got. Welsby is only 21, 22, so he could still perhaps do that later on in his career. But really, really good news, not just the Saints, but for the league, Bobby.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic news. Obviously, as a Saints fan myself, it's brilliant for the club. It's brilliant to know that he is secured and away from NRL interest for the time being. But as Super League as well, it's fantastic. He comes under a lot of pressure, does Jack Welsby, but I think that comes from how good he's been at a young age. I think people can be quite jealous towards that kind of talent, and most people when they really dig into somebody from another team, it's because they wish they had him. And I do it with a lot of other players, and I wish they were part of Saints. But I think the other thing with Welsby and this whole NRL interest is that if you had to say Welsby did have a big fault, let's say, it would be defensively. And, you look at the back line of NRL clubs, they're a lot bigger than what we get in Super League. You look at your Latrell Mitchells, your James Tedesco's, your Greg Inglis's. I know they've retired now, but the Morris twins on the wing, they're awesome. A big unit, and yet they're still so quick. But can he? At 22, his body is still changing and developing. Is he ready to take that? That next step into the NRL, and in another way as well. I'm also glad that he didn't leave just to the first NRL club that showed a bit of interest in him.
That's true, yeah.
If you look at Wellesby's career so far, he's achieved a hell of a lot in the game. He's a 4-time champion, a World Club champion. He's made Dream Team pretty much every season.
Yeah.
And,
England
I'd
honours,
hate for him to go now and sign for, no disrespect to say, the West Tigers or the Gold Coast Titans and just be another player. I hope he signs for a Roosters or a Storm, someone who could say, look, we're going to win this thing and we want you to be a part of that.
More honours. Yeah, I agree. Do you agree, Reece, that keeping older Wellesby in Super League is good for the league?
I do think it's good. The other half that you failed to mention there, Eddie, is that we don't really like Wellesby that much either. But that might come down to Bobby's point about...
I'm being really polite and professional to our guests.
I know you were. I'm trying to bring it out of you. You're not being festive enough. We're meant to have family arguments. This is a podcast family.
Yeah, me and you should be squaring up and to drink and calling each other.
But there's... I think it's important that if anyone... if people have... or if clubs have players like that they retain them, and it's good for Super League to keep them. Because for every one that stays, one will go, but that's better than 2 that have gone under before, and rather than keeping them. So I do think it's good for the league, because it means there's more people competing.
Agreed. I agree. Bobby, thank you very much. Don't be a stranger. Thanks a lot for joining us. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the best.
And the same to you guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers, Bobby.
Cheers, guys.
And again, everybody, head over to iTunes, to Spotify, however you listen to your podcasts, the Loose Forward podcast. It inspired me and Reece to create this. They are absolutely amazing. Go and give them a listen. Take care, Bobby.
Thanks very much, guys. See you later. All the best.
God. All the effects. All the effects.
What now? Who's here? Bobby's just
Mark?
left.
Mark, is that you?
Morning, chaps. How are you?
Matt, you're always welcome. You are always welcome. Mark, we've kind of been talking about Christmas, rugby league, all sorts. But the first question is, are you in a festive mood? Do you enjoy Christmas? Or are you a bit of a Grinch, bit of a Scrooge?
Oh, from 1st of November, mate, I'm in full-on Christmas mode. I love it. I'm like a big kid.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Build up to Christmas, watching my girls grow up. Now I've got my grandkids and dog. It's chaos, but it's great chaos.
So Christmas for you, Mark, starts before bonfire night.
Yeah. Once it gets to November, it starts getting dark. You think, right, Christmas is on the horizon. Let's get it on.
So when do you start with the Christmas tree and the decorations? When do you start putting all that up?
Well, my wife does all that, and she's quite sneaky. We used to, because my birthday's on 2nd of December, I used to give it to her, right, on my birthday, weekend of my birthday, we can start putting things up. But she started this obsession with gonks. She fucking loves gonks. So now the more she's been buying it, she's been putting them out bit by bit. So first lot went out on 15th of November, and now house is taken over. Her excuse is she likes to leave things in the house to see if the dog's going to grab them. Because she likes grabbing soft toys and all that kind of stuff. He's a bit of a nutter. So she says, I'll put them out bit by bit so he gets used to them. Been there. And like 3 days later, house is overrun with gonks and fucking tin sleeves. Thinking, hang on a minute. How did that happen? Then it's too late.
Too late then. It's already started. Well, it's nice to know that you're on Team Eddie and you are feeling festive and in a Christmas.
I love Christmas, guys. I love it. It's my favourite time of year. You appreciate more. When I was in Navy, I used to be away for a lot of them.
Yes.
So when you miss them, you appreciate them more.
When you get them back. Agreed.
Yeah.
We'll stick on the Christmas theme. What's your favourite Christmas film, Mark?
I've got 2. It's National Lampoons and Elf.
Yeah, love them both. I do love Chevy Chase. I do.
Yeah, it's just stupid humour. It's my type of humour. It's daft.
I do love it. And favourite Christmas song?
See, I'm a bit like Reece. I've got at least 3.
Go for it.
Lonely This Christmas by Mud.
Mud. Yeah, I love that.
Again, Darkness. Don't Let the Bells End. That's a banger, is that?
2 votes for the darkness. It's top of the league.
No,
It's a classic.
honestly, it's a banger. I was gutted when it didn't get number 1. In fact, I was fuming with that dreary shit, that frigging Mad World crap.
Mark
But you know,
is angry
I don't hold
as
a
a
grudge,
Rhinos
guys.
beat about the darkness being number 1.
And yeah, and the other ones, I like Winter's Tale by David Essex.
David Essex. Well, 3 classics there. Mark, on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
you've had your dinner, you've had a few beers. Do you have a Christmas Day nap?
No, not now.
No.
Not with grandkids. We just like to play stupid games, play with the toys,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah, but before grandkids came along, then yeah. But now we've got grandkids, it just keeps you going, mate.
Are you prone to a Christmas nap, Reese? Christmas Day nap?
It sounds amazing, to be honest. But no, I don't think I've had one before, and it's just me and Ness this year, so I don't think I can have a nap if it's just me and Ness.
It's Merry Christmas, mate. You better be awake for it.
Yeah.
No. Do you agree with Mark says his Christmas festive period starts on 1st of November, Reese? When does it start in your household?
It's meant to start 5 weeks before Christmas for 2 reasons. That's when this is not my family, this is my other half's family that's been imprinted on me. But Love Actually starts 5 weeks before Christmas. And my father-in-law's birthday is 5 weeks before Christmas, and he really likes Love Actually. So the trees are officially allowed to go up after my father-in-law's birthday, and they've watched Love Actually, and that's when it goes up from there.
I love how everyone's got these little traditions of
Just weird, isn't it?
And yeah, aren't we? We're all not as queer as folk. On to Rugby League, Mark. You may have heard us. We spoke about the Rhinos once or twice. We've spoken about Harry Newman. I'd love to get your thoughts on Harry Newman, if you don't mind. He spoke earlier this week, yesterday, about his contract situation addressed before the season starts. How did you kind of read into Harry's comments, Mark?
I'm surprised he's not started already at the end of last season. As soon as he finished with England, he should have been in the office with his agent. Let's sort it out. Let's not fuck about. Let's sort it out. 2-3 year deal, marquee money. No get out clause. Let's see your commitment. The club have gone out and spent the money. Now you commit to it. And then in a room with his coach, and let's think about the team, Harry. Let's not do out stupid. Because he has got the potential to be world class, and I agree with what you were saying earlier. I don't think NRL clubs are going to come in at this moment in time and make him their first choice 3 or 4. They genuinely won't, because there's so much cloud over his injury record. Not his talent. His talent is there. His aggression, his rugby league brain when he's on it. He's sharp. He's got so much to give, but that injury cloud, NRL clubs don't take chances with players. We've seen them bomb the road out. Some really good homegrown talent. If they go on these injury runs, they just bomb them out. They're not interested. Yeah. So I think he's got a good 2-3 years with us, but let's get it sorted now. Let's not make the same mistake we did with Walters, and then we can concentrate on pre-season and hit the ground running.
Walters, I don't recall anyone. Who? You think it's as simple as this, race? In that, just on Harry, injury free, and it is world class.
And I think his injury free statement, it doesn't matter as long as Leeds sign him up in this off season. That statement about his injury record doesn't matter if we sign him up now.
Yeah,
because if he is injury free and he has the season that he has the potential to have, I mean, I don't think any of us will sit on this pod and say that Harry's not talented. We've never ever doubted that. He's probably the most elusive centre in Super League on his day, and probably the best Super League centre on his day. So if he's injury free, then that's what we will see. And I think in a side where we are certainly more confident in with the side that we've got, and I'm sure that Harry will hopefully feel the same. In that environment, Harry will thrive. So I'm thinking about it again. Leeds have got the opportunity to beat other clubs to the chase because he's their player. No one else can have a look at him now. So just get the deal done now before he has that injury-free season and smashes it. Because if he does have that injury-free season and Leeds haven't got the deal done, he will go.
Yeah, I think now's the time. Similar to his previous contract, it's like Harry and the club meeting each other in the middle and being like, right, like Mark said, the club have gone out and signed Croft and Ackers and Momirovsky and Miller and Frawley to say, look, we're building again here now. We've signed some absolute class players. You need to be part of this. You like Mark said, you need to show us your hand and say, right, I'm here. I'm here with Brodie Croft, with Andy Ackers for 2-3 years and develop from there.
Does a halfway deal, though, mean a 2-year deal? If Leeds are around at the meeting Newman halfway, I don't know what your opinion is, listen, Mark, but if Leeds are meeting him halfway, does that mean a 2-year deal?
Mark?
Well, he's got a year left, hasn't he? So with the year he's got to run 2 years on top, I'll take that. But I wouldn't take anything less. And I definitely I wouldn't even entertain a clause.
For the NRL, yeah.
Yeah, bollocks to that. If he signs 2-3 year and he's smashing it, if they want him, they're paying for him. End of story.
Yeah, I agree. Ginny says in our YouTube comments, if Harry does go to the NRL, we have to let him go with all good wishes, but by God, I hope we keep him. I agree. I just think to keep him injury-free, 2-year deal, free max. It makes absolute perfect sense. Reese is wearing the 2004 Heritage shirt, Mark, the new shirt for the lineup for 2024. What did you think of this when you first laid your eyes on it?
I like it. Yeah. I like it. 2004 will always be a special part of our history. I don't think it's as good as the Patrick one, the original, but I like it.
Yeah, agreed.
Unfortunately, the original one doesn't fit me anymore, Mark, because I was
here he goes.
10. I was 10. There's someone else that's coming on later that his shirt still fits him. So,
Mark, one of your favourite people, we just spoke about it with Bobby, Phil Clark, left Sky Sports earlier this week. How did you react to that news initially?
Thank fuck for that.
I knew it.
He's a prick, mate. Such a good rugby league player, but as a pundit, he's an absolute wanker. It's not even. It's not even up for debate. He's a bell end. Yeah, good riddance.
So Phil Clark's left. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Bobby earlier. Who would you like to see kind of replace him in that that role at Sky?
Well, first of all, I think it's nailed on. It's going to be Rat Boy, but I'd like to see people like Roby, see what he's got.
Yeah.
As a left field, I liked what Danica Prim did on Channel 4 as well. To be fair,
agreed,
I thought she spoke well about the game. When you see Lois Forsell on there and all the other lassies like Jodie Cunningham and all these young girls and coaches from women's side, I like to hear their opinions on it because they do talk properly about it. There's a lot of unbiased thoughts on there, and I do agree with the lad from the other podcast, the Saints fan. There's still a few. Yeah, there's still a few more that need to go as well to freshen it up.
Can I throw a really left field name in here? And it's because I was quite impressed with him on Premier League. Was it when it was on Premier League Sports or something? Can't remember what it was. Yeah. What was the one that Championship? Anyway, Kev Brown.
Yeah.
I quite liked him when he was on the coverage.
He was all right. I mean, to be fair, I like commentator from there. No, Mark Wilson. I follow him on Twitter.
He needs to be on Sky.
He's a class act. He's a commentator. I prefer him to other ones, to that Ben Pro. Who's that other fella that they sometimes have on? But I can't remember his name. He's that good. But I'd definitely be looking at Mark Wilson as well. You can get him on more games.
It's called Stuart something, isn't it? Stuart. What's it called?
Yeah, it's weird because when you read his stuff online, it's really insightful. But when you try to listen to him commentate, it's like it's calling a play that happened 5 minutes ago, and you're like, "Come on, fella." You know what I mean? Keep up. You got Dave Woods calling people by players that have been playing the game for 15 years.
Stuart Pike.
Yeah,
Stuart Pike. And Ben. What's his face?
But with Clark, it couldn't have happened at a nicer time. Great pre-Christmas, pre-season present. Off you go, fuck face. Don't let them know you're on your ass on the way out.
Yeah, 30 years at Sky. Wow, absolutely donkeys. Paul Momirovsky.
Yeah,
time for the Rhinos, Mark. How many tries do you reckon Momorovsky's going to score for the Rhinos
In
next year.
Super League, 15 plus minimum. I think we're really going to get. I think we're going to destroy some teams this year, boys. I really do. I think we're going to do a lot of damage.
Oh,
And from what I've seen of him, he's going to thrive on it. He's going to thrive on. So he's Super League alone, 15 plus. Pro Cup running, he'll be up in 25, 26.
do you agree with that, Reese?
Oh, that's
Come on,
ambitious.
Don't forget,
That is ambitious.
Lot Pod Reese,
I-
come on.
I'd have gone 15 in total, I think.
15 in total.
Because he's going to be passing a lot to Fussy Tua. And Fussy's going to get at least another 15. So I reckon there's going to be some... if you put total try contributions, scoring and assists, let's say 20. But 2025. But yeah, I think tries. I think it'll be 15 all season for Momorovsky.
22 tries minimum. 22 league tries. Probably
I hope he
gets
didn't listen.
6 in the cup. 6 in the cup as well, I reckon. Are you excited for 2024, Mark? Is that a silly question, Mark? Is
Yeah,
that
mate. I'm waiting for a pre-season like this since 2017. Genuinely.
When was the last time you were this excited?
Yeah,
2017.
genuinely. We finally got back to mid leads. We've identified a problem. We're going to sign the best player out there at 6. We're going to get Croft. All right, you're struggling. We'll take your fucking 9 as well. Have some of that. Do you know what I mean? And happy days, because the key players in key areas, they're not just coming off reputation. We've seen them do it week in, week out. And that relationship as well between Croft and Ackers, it's already made, so we don't have to worry about that link. Do you know what I mean? It's one.
Yeah, it's 50% there already, isn't it?
You don't have to wait for it to gel, do you?
No.
I agree with you, Mark. I'm incredibly excited. It's some years I've not bothered with pre-season families or I've not gone out my way to go to the Boxing Day. Whereas this year I'm like, I've been trying to work on the wife to come to Boxing Day for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm going with my mate now anyway. But I'm buzzing like that. I've already got my tickets for Hull KR and the Boxing Day fixture, because I am just dying for the season to start.
That's great news for the podcast, for the reviews.
Because we did all the pre-season reviews last year and we didn't go to one game.
No, we didn't. That's breaking news, by the way, because you wouldn't be able to tell from those reviews.
That's how good we are.
We haven't seen a second of those games. Mark, you're going to be back with us for 2024. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and yours, and thanks a lot for joining us.
No problem. Same to you guys. Enjoy your
Cheers,
first trip to the Married Man race. Congratulations to
Will
you
do.
and your better half. And finally,
Cheers,
just before I go, lads, Die Hard's an action film set at Christmas. It's not a fucking Christmas film.
It is. It's a Christmas film.
Love you both, lads. Have a great Christmas.
Take care. Thanks, Mark. We need to start asking all these guests about the Die Hard thing, don't we? Because is that two have said it is?
2 that said it is, and 2 that said, hang on, with 3, because it was me, you, and Cameron that said it is, and then Bobby
and Mark.
Mark.
It isn't. So let's ask the others.
Yeah.
Question number 5.
But we've got something more important to do first.
If Die Hard is or isn't a Christmas film. All the names are in this. It's a fruit bowl. In this fruit bowl for the Lot Pod raffle. Here is the signed shirt.
Well, what season is it from?
Snapback. I think that's 2007.
Yes, Chris is nodding in the background.
Chris is
It's
nodding.
2007.
2007. All signed by the whole squad, including Rob Burrow, Kev, Danny. And the winner of this shirt, let me shuffle these up, and the snapback. All the money, the proceeds from this, it was £5 an entry, are going to, of course, to the MND Association. And the winner is live on the podcast. Let me just need a drum roll. Adam Wilson. Adam Wilson is the winner of the signed shirt. Congratulations, Adam. If you're listening to this, please send a DM to the Lot Pod X account, and I'll speak with you, and we'll sort out the postage of this amazing shirt. This snapback designed and created by ACDMB. This amazing shirt, kindly donated by ACDMB. This hoodie, ACDMB. Everything ACDB. Thanks a lot to them for donating the shirt and these amazing snapbacks and the prize. Well done, Adam. You've won. Someone at the door. Who's it now?
Well, can we continue on the theme? It's Chris from ACDB.
Speak of the devil.
I'm getting my sponsorship in.
You're getting your money's worth today, yeah.
How are you, Chris? Are you feeling festive?
Getting there. It's I absolutely love Christmas,
Me too.
but I've got a caveat to that. I'm opposite to Mark. Starts too early.
Yeah.
So Christmas to me is sort of from when I finish work and the week after I enjoy more than
Beyond, rather than the
Yeah.
building up to it afterwards.
I think a lot of that's just running your own business. I know that next week I'm not going to get any emails.
Yeah.
I mean, I can email you if you want, if you're feeling left out.
I don't mind you emailing me, but as long as you're
Yeah,
not asking me
I've got
to-
more snapback designs to send you away, so.
As long as you're not asking him to reply.
Yeah.
Tomorrow when I finish, that's when it starts for me.
That's it. Really, really
I
start.
think people start too early, and it's everyone's own choice, isn't it? But for me, tomorrow,
Mark starts before bonfire night.
Yeah.
The day after
Um,
Halloween.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but
The big topic of this podcast has clearly been, Chris, is Die Hard a Christmas film?
you're not going to believe this, but I've never seen it. It's not my type of thing.
Never seen it.
So, is it set at Christmas?
Is it Christmas Eve? It's a
Yeah.
Christmas party. Is it Christmas Eve?
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah,
It's Christmas Eve.
go for it then. Yeah,
There we go.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it is.
Good, that means Bride the time maker. Good. Oh, no, it's not. That's 4-2. Yeah, we've won. It's fine.
We've won. We've done it. Die Hard. It's official. The Lot Pod. Die Hard is a Christmas film. The 2004 shirt, Chris, the Heritage shirt. What did you make of this?
If anyone reads my Twitter, which there's not many followers for all, I give Oxen untold amounts of shit.
Because you do your own designs, Chris, as well. And some of your designs that you've done in the past have been phenomenal.
Yeah,
So you've clearly got a picture of what you think a Leeds Rhino
Well,
shirt
I
should
don't
look like.
Standards.
I suppose being a designer, I'm a bit more critical, but it's really good. The thing is though, and this is a beef about modern shirts in general. If you look at the 2004 one, the quality is unbelievable compared to what we get. Especially the 2005 one. They use different materials. There's piping. Everything's really well done, but they're just polyester crap now, aren't they?
Have to the players' version of this, which was 80 quid, which I just couldn't do that. But the players' version did look a league above the normal jersey that everyone would buy.
They always do. I always buy the players version, and it's simply because Oxen's sizing's crap, and I can fit in a players one. But the material's so much better. They use different materials. The stitching's better. It's just the collars are crap on the players versions. The collar on what you're wearing is better than the players version. So yeah, I think they've done a really good job with it. But because it's Oxen, I'm still giving it 5 out of 10.
I'm going to say what you're giving it. 5 out of 10. Just because it's Oxford.
That's a high score for Chris, to be fair.
Yeah, you see, as much as I love the 2022 shirt, I still think they cocked that up.
Really?
Needed a white collar.
Yeah.
So this is the designer, isn't it? You're going to these little details. Well, I look at that home shirt. I mean, I've got it somewhere here, actually.
The 2018 shirt was the best we've had.
Yes. Was that the last?
That was the 50th anniversary of the 1968.
That one was that the last ISC one? Because that wasn't Oxen, was it?
No, I think we had one after that where they just phoned it in, but it was
2020
was
was
like the
the-
2022 one, but it had a white collar.
Yeah.
So you're saying this needed the white collar on that one?
That needed the
That
white
needed
collar.
the white collar because we're getting into technical details here, but the problem with the 2018 shirt is they used the wrong color for the amber band.
Now we really are getting technical.
It was too yellow. So stick the collar from the 2018 shirt on the
On the
2022, and you've got it.
You've
That's
got
it.
perfection.
Yeah.
Oxen, just give Chris a call. He'll design all your shirts.
I can't afford my fee.
How do we?
Chris, we haven't spoken to you at all for quite some time now. We've signed Brodie Croft, Lackey Miller, Matt Frawley, Paul Momirovski, Andy Ackers. How did you feel about all that?
It were all a bit bizarre, wasn't it? And
yeah,
I'm totally with you, Eddie. And it's like, even though we had a shit year last year, I still had trust in Rowan Smith to build a squad.
Yes.
And when Frawley signed, I think people went too far on comments about him. But it works now, doesn't it?
It does now, yeah. Absolutely.
No, I was a bit upset with the comments that initially made about Frawley because they were all basing it on the 2018 Giants form. And we can't pretend that we all watch rugby league week in, week out. No, we can't all pretend we've been watching Matt Frawley's career for the last 4 years. The bit I caught of him in the playoffs last year, he looked fairly good, but what was clear was that he needed someone to work with him that allowed him to do what he was very good at. And Croft is exactly that sort of player. And I think Frawley complements Croft more than Croft. I'm trying to work it out actually which one would complement each other more. But either way, I think the partnership works because Croft will be a running nine that will cause problems, and Frawley's kicking game, something that we've missed on last tackle so badly the last couple of years. God knows why we don't kick to Fussy two ways, but the biggest players on the pitch, and he's tall and he can jump high.
It's almost too simple of an idea kicking to the big Tonga on the wing.
But
Carry on, Chris.
there's no way that it wasn't planned.
No,
it was just getting ducks in a row, and I think last year was terrible. But I always I'm quite a positive person anyway, but I always sort of thought that we'd have a massive clear out.
Yeah,
and it's happened. I'm actually glad, even though I thought he was good last year, McDonald's gone, because I think Momirovski will be an absolute find. He's just what we need. He's a intelligent rugby league player.
I agree.
And if there were one thing we lacked last year was intelligence. I think we might be a prop short. I'm not that worried because I think we're looking at. I think both Holroyd and Aledski will be better next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I even think this young lad from Cass might actually turn out to be a bit of a master stroke. So I think we've got a really, really exciting squad. I'm really looking forward to it. I will caveat that again with I don't think we're going to hit the ground running, but I think we'll have enough quality to win games.
To win the treble.
Yeah, and then when we kick into gear, I think we're going to hammer some sides because I think my siding of next year is Lackey Miller. I think he's going to be.
Cameron says exactly the same. Yeah, he thinks he's going to.
I think he's going.
And did you watch the interview the other day?
Yeah,
because he's buzzing. Like he's properly excited to get going. I mean, his sevens game is really interesting to me as someone that plays union and was very bad at sevens.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I was unfit. But the seven style of player, the footwork, the fitness that's required for that, and the work rate that's required, but the general speed and elusiveness, it doesn't always work, but it has worked, and he kept out a very good player last year.
Have you seen his stats for the limited time he had in NRL? I think he made the most meters, line breaks and everything. He'll be a superstar. And he's quite a big lad as well, isn't he? He's not like Jai Field.
No. Should you remember the move that Rhinos used to do quite often last year, which was when they used to come out from dummy half or give it to first receiver, and Richie Myler would take the inside line and just shoot through the gap. Lackey's going to be doing that quite often, I think.
And I think we'll see a few long range tries, kicks, returns. I think he'll just relish it. So I think I'm really looking forward to seeing Lackey Miller. And we know what we're getting with Croft and Ackers. Absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Best 6 and 9 in league.
Easily.
But I think Miller is the one I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I don't know whether I read too much into it, but I've been watching a few. They haven't put loads out, but from what I've seen from the videos, it looks a really happy camp. And I don't think we've had that for 3 years. They all
positivity.
And I
And
think,
you know, Cam's coming out saying he's going to play Boxing Day now because he wanted to play, he wanted to run out. It almost feels a bit too sensible and like things are going well. And I'm not quite sure I don't quite want to jump on the train too hard yet.
But leading on,
You'll be on that train soon.
Leading on to
Boxing Day.
I think all that's gone on with getting the new players in and how happy they all look, I think that's led Newman to want to stay.
Yeah, I agree. With all the players that we've signed, absolutely.
He's not daft, is he? I know he acts daft, but he'll be thinking, look at the players I've got around me.
Yeah.
He will win. As a Leeds lad, he'll want to win a Super League title more than most. You know, it's people like Ash, Oledzki, all those lads that have come through the academy. He will feel exactly the same as those, and he'll. You know, I remember after the grand final in 21, he was gutted. 22, sorry, gutted. He was absolutely gutted at the final whistle.
And it's not the right time for him to go to the NRL. He's coming off some really bad injuries.
Yeah, I agree.
It could absolutely ruin his career. And from what I've read and what he's said, he wants to go to the NRL, but I think he wants to sign with Leeds. So it's simple. Put him on that 50k marquee spot. That might actually even free up some cap space.
I think it will do compared to what he's on at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, then we can get a prop then.
As I said earlier, 50k on a salary cap for a player that will probably earn 250, which for Leeds isn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but 50k on the salary cap means much more to Leeds than Harry Newman getting 250 grand a year.
No brainer, isn't it? Would you want Harry Newman on 50k on your salary cap?
Any team in the world would.
Yeah.
any side in the
world. I think they all look just like they're in a happy.
I agree.
I think Rowan's cleared the shit out, and I think there were a lot going on. I've read a couple of comments that people have said people don't realise how bad it was last year.
Really, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
I am.
And I do hope that we wear that shirt that Reese is wearing more than the white one, because usually I don't like the shirts and then I buy them and I think they're all right. My opinion of it's got worse as I've bought it. At least the good thing is I feel like I've got two shirts for the price of one, because that's what it is. It's one shirt on the front and then the sleeves are a different shirt. Anyway, come on, Oxford, give me a ring.
Cam Smith got announced. Finally, we've got a captain, Chris, in Captain Cam. Was that just a complete no-brainer and just ticking the easiest box to tick in the world?
Again, I'm going to sound like a bit of a Rowan Smith fanboy, which I am a bit, but
we are. Agreed, we are.
I think last year will have done him a world of good, won't it?
Yeah.
So if we'd have thrown him as a captain, like he was captain, wasn't he? But give him that pressure in a shit year when everything's going tits up. I think everyone just wrote last year off, and I think the leadership team thing was bullshit, because I think he wanted to do something to stop Lehman being captain, and I think that was the easiest way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I think it's an absolute no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they still did it though. They still have to do it, don't they? And they've done it.
Yeah, I'm totally glad they did, because we as a club got loads of shit for that, and they had to do it. And I think he'll go level up again.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because I think he were compensating too much last year anyway for. I don't like slagging players off, but as halfbacks were absolutely shit, weren't they?
Yeah. You could see at points when Cam was trying to do too much on his own, but then no one would run, and then Cam would get the blame because he'd have to take contact. But there was no options. I don't think he'll have that problem this year with the quality that we've got.
And just think, 6 months ago we were sort of saying, maybe we should give Austin another year.
And look at us now.
I even did a whole intro for him, and I gave him a soundtrack and everything.
And then about 3 weeks later, we were calling him a knobhead.
Yeah, Christ.
Paul Momorovsky, Chris. How many tries do you reckon Paul Momorovsky's going to get?
I'm with Reese here. I think he's going to give. I think Fussy 2 is going to score more with him
As his partner.
I've not watched loads of him, but from what I have seen, he's a proper centre.
Yeah.
Knows
Real
exactly
class.
what, but I think he does know where to try line, and he's a big lad as well, isn't he? So I think that partnership, if he partners with Fussy Tua, will be really, really good.
Yeah. Hanley and Numa on the other side. Just to finish up, Chris, how excited are you? And it's a stupid question, but how excited are you for this season? And when was the last time you were this excited for the season?
I was quite excited last year until I saw pre-season, and I'm not even bothered.
And it all fell apart.
I'm not even bothered if we win pre-season games, but and maybe that was Rowan's fault. So I'll have a go in when it's due. But that just went to shit. I just think we weren't a team last year.
No,
we will be this year. I'm excited every year.
Yeah,
but it does. I can't wait till Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't wait for that.
Proper been ticking down the days, and then I realised I forgot to buy a ticket.
But do you know what I am interested in is that attendance at the first round at Salford. I'm willing to put a bet on a £10 bet that will be our biggest attendance with the Rob Burrow JJB testimonial game aside. I have a feeling that could be one of our biggest attendances in the new stadium.
I agree. I think if you look at last year, was it Hull that and it was a dire, horrible game.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't we get close to
lots of those last year?
Yeah, everyone's looking forward to that. That makes me nervous. I can just see us bollocksing that up, and everyone having a everyone writing us off. Then, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that'll be a big crowd. I think we'll get big crowds all next year if we fulfill potential.
Yeah, Chris, you'll be back with us for 2024. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sponsoring us. Thanks for keeping us afloat. Have a lovely Christmas.
You too, guys.
And a lovely New Year. And we'll see you next year, pal. Thank you.
I'll catch you at Boxing Day, Reese, with your goodies.
Yeah, we'll go a beer.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, you'll need these goodies, Reese. Snapbacks.
Yeah, you can look out for me at the Boxing Day fixture because I will be wearing both of them when Chris donates the goods.
Quality here is outstanding.
It's outstanding.
Adam Wilson has got. What?
Sorry.
What?
One more person at the door. But make him wait. Do your bit.
Adam Wilson is also getting one of these LockPod snapbacks with the shirt from the raffle. Thank you, everybody, for donating. That was a doorbell. Someone else here. You're kidding me. You're winding me up. Who else is here now?
God, he's getting really, really antsy, isn't he? Oh, Bri?
Bri?
Ho, 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 boys!
Oh, I see.
How are we?
Finally, Brian. Someone feeling festive.
Hang on, I've got a reindeer here as well. Hang on, I've got my reindeer here as well. Hang on. Got my reindeer here, boys, as well. Hang on. Right, what do you need, boys?
So for those that are listening on Spotify, you might just want to switch over to YouTube at this point.
For those, listening on Spotify and iTunes, just go back to the YouTube channel and see the best intro we've ever had to anyone. Brian, I know why that is a blue Santa suit you're wearing. And I totally get that. Is it a stupid question, Brian, to ask you? Sorry, everybody. This is Brian from 6 again. He's a friend of the podcast. Everyone follows Brian X and all across social media. Welcome, Brian. Is it a stupid question, Brian, given what you're wearing and what we can see? Are you feeling festive, Brian?
I am now, yeah. Yeah, I am this year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it this year. My son's 7, so he's finally got into it.
Mhm.
So I think that's what it is. To be quite fair, I think it's all down to him.
It's all about the kids. When does the festive Christmas period start in your household, Bri?
10 past midnight on the 1st of December.
10 past midnight. That's very
Yeah, because you get to take my mustache off on November, and then once that's gone, they get
That's it. Christmas
that's
decorations.
it. It's done then. Yeah, Christmas time then. But yeah, about 10 past 10 past midnight on the 1st of December.
Is Die Hard a Christmas film, Brian?
Yes, it is the best
There you
Christmas film ever. Now, Reese,
And
I've
it's
got a bone to pick with you. I've got a
You
bone to pick
always
with you.
do.
Home Alone is basically Die Hard for kids.
Yeah, but I didn't see it until last year.
Doesn't matter.
didn't
I'm still a
like
kid.
it,
I'll go watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't. I just didn't enjoy it. No, it's just fun, mate.
He's the only person on the planet who didn't enjoy Home Alone, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak to him. I can't speak to the podcast HR because that is Reese.
That is me, yeah.
That's why, Brian. That's why I can't get rid of him.
Yeah, sounds-
Brian, what's your favourite Christmas song or songs, plural?
Mine's Little Drummer Boy, Crosby and Bowie.
Yeah, classic.
Always has been. I grew up listening to that pack and things like that, so it struck a chord when I was a kid.
Do you have a Christmas Day nap, Brian? Do you have a nap on Christmas Day?
Always. About 6 o'clock.
I was about to say, is it a time nap, but you've gone there.
Yeah. About 6 o'clock, and it's just to get the second wind to keep on going till about 4 o'clock in the morning. That's it.
We had some news this week, Brian, about Phil Clark. We've asked a few of our guests leaving Sky Sports after decades and decades and decades. Do you think it was time for Phil Clark to leave, or do you think he kind of outstayed his welcome a few years ago?
He definitely outstayed as well. 5 years outstayed as well for me easily. It just, as Mark said earlier on, great player, but you know, you feel like he was a bit out of touch now, and he's been getting further and further away from out of touch. And then I'm as Andy says there, I mightn't be home alone. I'm in the kid's bedroom, to be quite fair. So I've been already kicked in here.
So Brian, if Brian's going, then we've already had a couple of names mentioned who's going to replace him. Who's your top pick in the draft for Sky Sports coverage?
I had 2 down, and Reece, you mentioned one, Kev Brown. I had Sam Tompkins down, but I'm going to throw it left field. I've really enjoyed people like Ash Golden, Ryan Brealey, Ryan Hall being on, and I forget who said it earlier on, but you do feel like they're a bit out of touch. I think it was Bobby saying they were out of touch.
I agree. Yeah.
And having them players in gives that different bit of insight and an up-to-date feeling of the game and what can be happening and what won't be happening. It's like one of my favourite bits last year. I know he's the curse word in for you guys, but the screen with John Wells when Johnny Lomax done it last season, not last season, season before. It's one of the best things I've ever seen on Sky Sports and in summary. And having them current players is, I think it's a way to go, to be quite fair.
That on-screen time that John Wells does is the one thing that I would want Sky Sports to keep, because when they get the right player to do it, it is actually fascinating to watch. I remember that.
Halfback, don't you feel like the half?
Well, it's always the man of the match, isn't it? Normally, or someone important. But that bit is great.
I've always felt that when there's a half there, like Lomax, they just break the game down and they make it. Sometimes when they break it down, I think, how have they seen that? How have they been able to read that so quickly? And I just think that really highlights or kind of pulls out, because I always think of fresh eyes watching the game, and I think, you know, if there's a young kid there, boy or girl, or just new fresh eyes watching it, they'd be like, wow, that guy spotted that so quickly. Do you feel like current players need to be kind of interviewed and kind of showcased more, Brian? Do you think they need a bigger spotlight, or do you think the players are I don't know, because part of me thinks Sky are obviously doing something.
This comes down to your midweek show idea, Eddie. This comes down to, sorry, Brian, but I think it comes down to that.
I think if you go back to the 80s, my dad knew nothing about rugby league, and he knew who most of the Widnes and Wigan players were because they were that high profile, they were that marketed, and everyone knew who Martin O'Fire. Everyone in the country knew who Martin O'Fire was. Everyone in the country knew who Sean Edwards was. And I think that's what we need to get back to. You need to get back to bringing the profile up of these players. And maybe one of them ways is doing some more stuff like John Wells, midweek program, another fanzine, if you will, program, like Boots and All used to be. Something like that. We just need bigger profiles for the players to then make the sport bigger, in my eyes.
Do you think it's a good idea, Reese, to kind of have, say it's Leeds versus Saints, and do you think it's a good idea to have perhaps an injured player from one of those sides commenting on the game? Because I think that's brilliant, because in terms of the analysis, they can cut to, say it's Johnny Lomax, we'll use him again as an example, and he's in the studio. Brian Carney can say, how are the Saints players feeling? What are they doing? And he can, from the horse's mouth, he can say, this is how they're feeling. This is how they say, and he can really break it down more than Phil Clark, who retired in 1990. God knows.
I think that's why the name Tompkins has been mentioned by about 3 of us, because he's been that exact person, hasn't he? This in 2023. So yeah, I mean, it's not always going to be possible to have one person injured from either side, and obviously it might not always be someone as good as and high profile as Johnny Lomax. Yeah. So I think where the opportunity arises, I think it would be great. Or even if it's someone that's recently retired, bringing James Roby was a name that was mentioned earlier, bringing him on for those types of games. He's not that far out of the game at all. He only retired last year. Bringing players in like that that can be involved in the game. I actually think Ryan Hall's a really good shot when he retires, to be honest. And I think Ryan Brearley is as well, because he seems to be quite intelligent with a head on him, and he seems to have that certain mind that I just think would work on a program like that. But I think whenever a player is injured in Super League and they're happy to come on and they're of a good profile, I think they should come on. Do
you agree with that, Brian?
Yeah, totally, absolutely. It'll make the viewing better, and more people want to view it.
I agree. We had some news as well this week about Jack Wellesby. We spoke about him quite in length on today's pod. Good news for the league, Bri, that a young superstar is sticking around at Saints and in Super League.
Yeah, it's a one-up on the NRL, really, I see it. Basically. I think it will be good. I think I'm a bit touch and go whether it be good enough for the NRL. I think he is.
Sorry, Brad. I know he's only 21, 22 now, but do you think whenever his settling deals up 2-3 years' time, think he'll be ready then? Do you think?
Yeah.
I think he's kind of thinking, I'm going to develop more, then go over.
I think what you've got to look at is, again, Sam Tompkins. Sam Tompkins was a hero of his, and you may be looking at his career in the NRL and thinking, did he go a little bit? Did he go 2 years too early?
Yeah. Did he go to the right team?
Did he go to the right team
earlier?
Yeah, and if that offered for the right teams on the table at around the right age, you jump at it, don't you? You'd be silly not to. But I think it is. I think it is good for our league, to be quite fair. And as you were saying earlier on, it now gives players like Harry Newman a platform to go and try and get the deal that the best deal that they can, to keep them away. And it's the same for clubs. Keep the best players that they can in the league, in this league.
There was an article running last week that if Wakefield get promoted, they're going to go after Tom Johnston because of that marquee player clause, and want to make him a marquee player because he's homegrown for Wakefield. Again, prime example of how exactly that thing should be used. I actually think it could be correctly applied, and I think if Newman signs that contract under that term, I think it actually could be the best thing that's moved Super League forward in the last 5-10 years. But it's interesting trying to compare Newman and Wellesby, actually, because Newman's probably 2 or 3 years older than Wellesby. So he's, Newman had the same opportunity 2-3 years ago and he stayed. I know Wellesby's probably signed up. I think, how long was Wellesby's deal, Bri? Was it 4 years? Or was it?
This one now, 4. No, it's a 2-year extension. So it's 4 years.
So 2 year extension. So he did 4 years. Obviously, Harry's was 2 at the time. So it's interesting to see the trajectory, but would have Harry Newman signed a longer deal at the time if it was marquee money? But it's interesting to see what would happen. But I think it's a good
Brian, there's
platform.
been a lot of new players. There's been a lot of new players signing in Super League across for 2024. Is there any in particular that you're excited to watch next year?
Lucky Miller. Lucky Miller is the correct answer, by the way. Just to
you know what? I'm actually excited to see what Andy Ackers can do at Leeds, because the trajectory that he's been on with Salford and then playing for England and kicking on as well, because he was really good, still really good there. So I'm actually really intrigued to see how he is with the team, because there's a bit of competition. I know we had competition at Salford with Chris Acken, but he was always number one. Seems there's a bit more competition at Leeds, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. I think really there's a few, but there's no one who really jumps out and grabs that like casual fan and goes, I want to go watch that. I want to go watch that person. And I think that's what the league's missing. And this is where the deal for Welsby and maybe a deal for Newman and other players of that ilk could capture more people.
Draws more attention in. Yeah.
I think if there's one signing that I'm intrigued at most, it's a non-Rhino. It's probably Peter Hickey at Hull KR.
Hull KR.
Hull KR. It's kind of interesting because I think Hull KR, and I'd put us above Hull KR in terms of season predictions, but Hull KR have had a much smoother transition to where they are now. We've obviously had
they've lost Danny Reese. Danny's gone,
but they have lost Danny. So sorry, I forgot about that. But I think Peter Hickey is probably, and maybe Matt Moylan, and maybe the two other signings that are non-leagues that I'm most interested or intrigued by to see this year.
I agree. I'm also intrigued by Catalans as well, because they've lost a few. Pearson and Tompkins,
but they did last year.
They did and replaced them, and it's where
we done the preview, and we all said that they've got nothing. But then we all said if they get a few in, then they'll be up there challenging. That's exactly what we said on the preview last year.
We can't go by our previews because I put Huddersfield as league leaders, so. And they were.
I had Huddersfield to win the cup.
Yeah. So
I had Huddersfield in the grand final with Leeds. So we're all as bad as each other.
But Catalan do the same thing every year, don't they? Every year.
Yeah.
It's been
Steve McNamara is good.
Brian. Thanks for joining us. You're more than welcome. You are a friend of the podcast. Everyone go follow. I bet everyone that's listening to this does already, but go follow the Amazing Six again on X or Instagram or all the social medias. Brian, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Happy New Year. Have a good one, mate. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, boys. See you soon.
Cheers, Brian.
Is the doorbell going to go again, or
it's bust? It's bust now. We're not letting anyone else.
The doorbell's broken. It's done. It's finished.
I would say though, it's been nice to talk about rugby league again.
It has. It's been nice. Nice to see you. It's been nice to see some regulars. Nice to see Bri as always, and nice to meet Bobby because we are friends.
A fellow statsman after all.
In that, to the two statsmen collided. We are all friends. We are part of this podcast network. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. If you are listening back to this, thank you everybody that entered the raffle. Thank you everybody that appeared tonight. A lot of thank yous. So Boxing Day, Reese, a little prediction for that.
Boxing Day, I'm really pleased that Cam's playing now. Obviously, it's great to see that obviously Lackey's going to be playing, Andy Ackers is playing, Gudemon's playing.
Sorry, just on that, because this has happened in previous years where they've said, right, all these are playing, but then come the day, they all drop out. Do you think they're all?
I just think there'll be quite a few changes through the game. I think the majority that will be there will play, hopefully, because I want to see. And you know what? I'm looking for. There was a lot of hype about this. Was it McCormack? I can't remember his name now. Fergus or Ned McCormack, the kid that they got from Union, England Rugby Union. He's in the squad. There's Jack Smith. So some good young names in there as well. So I'm just looking forward to a nice, easy day and hopefully just watching some good rugby and hopefully seeing a difference. Matt Frawley is playing as well. So the majority of the new signings are playing as well, hopefully. So I'm looking forward just to seeing how we shape up and what it looks like.
You're looking forward just to seeing Leeds batter Wakey by 112.
I mean, Wakey have got they're in a talk about a team that feels more positive. You know, they've probably taken the greatest stride out of anyone in rugby league, haven't they? So I think they'll be quite happy themselves. The return of is Luke Gale playing for Wakefield, isn't he now?
Yes.
So he'll be coming back. So no, I'm looking forward to it.
Luke Gale and your favourite halfback. That's the partnership.
Mason Lino is your favourite halfback.
Everybody, thank you very much as always. We'll be back. We will review the Wakefield game. Have a lovely Christmas, everyone. We'll see you on the next podcast. Take care.